If you're a diehard Browns fan and love breaking down the game like we do, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you never miss a blitz. The Cleveland Browns' decision to trade Baker Mayfield for Deshaun Watson has officially entered the pantheon of the worst moves in NFL history, and for many analysts, the evidence keeps piling up with every snap of the 2025 season. It's not just a matter of wins and losses, though the record certainly speaks volumes. It's about lost opportunity, financial mismanagement, and a franchise that appears to have willingly shot itself in the foot. The trade, executed in 2022, saw the Browns hand over 3 first-round picks to the Houston Texans in exchange for Watson, a quarterback with undeniable talent but a history of off-field controversies and now a staggering injury and performance record. In return, Cleveland received a $230 million fully guaranteed contract, a figure that in retrospect looks more like an albatross than an investment. For seasons in, Watson has started only 19 games, racked up less than 3,500 passing yards, and thrown just 19 touchdowns, a tally that in any measure is wildly underwhelming, especially when compared to the assets the Browns surrendered. Nick Padone, a prominent Browns analyst, didn't mince words on this subject during his appearance on the Big Play Cleveland show. Padone reached what he described as his breaking point after witnessing Baker Mayfield lead the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to a thrilling Monday Night Football victory. Mayfield, the very quarterback the Browns once deemed expendable, showcased his leadership and skill, guiding Tampa Bay to a 2-0 start for the season. Meanwhile, the Browns stumbled to their 17th loss in just 20 tries. The contrast was stark, undeniable, and Padone was ready to declare the Browns-Watson trade an outright disaster. They made the worst trade in the history of professional sports, Padone said. The decision to move on from Baker Mayfield to Deshaun Watson still haunts this team. It's hard to argue with him when the team they traded away is thriving while their supposed savior struggles to even stay on the field. Financially, the consequences of the Watson trade have been catastrophic for the Browns. The $230 million commitment is more than a contract. It's a looming weight that restricts roster flexibility and handicaps the front office from addressing glaring deficiencies elsewhere. Padone was particularly blunt, calling the investment a $230 million albatross that they invested 3 first-round picks into. Beyond the missed draft opportunities, the Browns still owe Watson $80 million against the cap for the upcoming season, with little to show for it in production. Every stat line, every incomplete pass, every injured game only reinforces the notion that the franchise gambled the farm on a quarterback who has yet to justify such a massive commitment. The opportunity cost is staggering when you consider what those 3 first-round picks could have accomplished. Padone pointed to the offensive line as a glaring example of a position group that could have been fortified had the Browns retained their draft capital. You could have used a first-round pick on an offensive lineman, Padone noted, his frustration clear. The tackle position is laughable. The Browns roster still features glaring holes that could have been patched through a combination of smart drafting and strategic free agent signings. Instead, those resources were funneled into a contract that has delivered almost no tangible results. The ripple effect is clear. Not only did the team lose the opportunity to develop around Mayfield, but they also tied up critical resources in a player whose health and performance have been unpredictable. Padone also challenged the narrative that the Browns simply outgrew Baker Mayfield and that receivers like Jarvis Landry or Odell Beckham Jr. were past their prime. He raised the tantalizing hypothetical. How might the Browns have fared if they had paired emerging talents like Jerry Jeudy as WR2 with Malik Nabers as WR1, rather than surrendering draft assets to acquire Watson? It's a question that lingers not only in Padone's commentary, but in the minds of every Browns fan frustrated with the team's direction. The what-ifs are particularly painful given Mayfield's evident success in Tampa Bay. Watching a former number 1 overall pick flourish while the Browns continue to struggle serves as a continuous reminder of what might have been, a season of what-ifs, losses, and mounting frustration. Even beyond the on-field struggles, the Watson trade represents a missed strategic opportunity. Cleveland had a quarterback under contract, capable of development and growth, with a track record of clutch performances and a clear understanding of the team's culture and playbook. Instead, The Browns opted for an expensive gamble on a player whose production has not come close to matching expectations. Pedone's criticism is particularly sharp because it's rooted in logic and observable outcomes. The trade didn't just fail to elevate the Browns. It actively hampered their ability to compete. With a quarterback sidelined by injury or inconsistency, the team's draft assets and cap space have been effectively wasted, leaving the roster in a precarious state. It's a scenario where every misstep compounds, creating a feedback loop of underperformance and frustration. For fans, the consequences are deeply personal. The excitement of watching a quarterback develop, of seeing the team climb in the standings, has been replaced by anxiety and skepticism. Every game without Watson, every incomplete drive, every blown opportunity serves as a reminder of a decision that seemed so promising at the time. Pedone's description of literally zero production isn't just hyperbole. It's a reflection of a reality where the Browns' investment has failed to produce wins, yardage, or touchdowns in meaningful measure. The narrative is hard to escape. The franchise chose a shiny, headline-grabbing move over sustainable development, and the results have been catastrophic. Looking ahead, the Browns face an uncertain future. Watson remains under contract, still guaranteed a significant portion of his salary, while the team continues to struggle to find its footing. The roster remains underdeveloped, the offensive line weak, and key positions still lacking depth and talent. Pedone's criticism underscores a broader frustration shared by analysts and fans alike. The Browns' gamble on Watson did not just fail, it actively set the franchise back. Every week without Mayfield on their roster feels like a missed opportunity, a constant reminder that sometimes the most dramatic move isn't the most effective one. The fallout from this trade will be felt for years, not just in wins and losses, but in draft capital, salary cap flexibility, and the overall trajectory of the franchise. In the end, the Cleveland Browns' decision to trade for Deshaun Watson serves as a cautionary tale, a dramatic example of how one trade can reverberate across multiple seasons, shaping not just the present, but the long-term strategy of a franchise. As Pedone aptly puts it, that dead weight is still around and is still going to be around next year. For fans, analysts, and anyone invested in the NFL, the Browns-Watson trade will likely be remembered as one of the most infamous moves in the league's history, a perfect storm of high expectations, mismanagement, and underperformance that continues to haunt a team desperate for stability and success. Watching Mayfield excel elsewhere only deepens the wound, offering a bittersweet glimpse of what might have been and a stark reminder of the consequences when a team bets the farm and comes up empty. The Browns are left to reckon with the fallout, hoping that one day, lessons learned will translate into smarter decisions, better drafting, and a return to the competitiveness that once seemed within reach. But for now, the Watson trade stands as a monument to risk gone spectacularly wrong. Enjoying the content so far? Smash that like button and drop your take in the comments. We want to hear what you think about the Browns this season. The NFL world is buzzing with whispers, speculation, and a hint of outright chaos. And it seems like the Cleveland Browns have suddenly become the epicenter of it all. Headlines are screaming, rumors are flying, and insiders are whispering that the protective bubble around Shedeur Sanders might finally be cracking. Yes, you heard that right. The shield is down, as one source put it, and now Browns owner Jimmy Haslam is reportedly applying serious pressure on both head coach Kevin Stefanski and general manager Andrew Berry to get Shedeur Sanders on the field sooner rather than later. It's the kind of drama that makes the NFL offseason almost as intense as the regular season itself. Haslam, known for being hands-on and impatient when it comes to talent, appears to be growing frustrated with the pace at which Sanders has been integrated into the team. There's talk that in private meetings, Haslam has made it abundantly clear that he doesn't want to see another week of waiting, that the organization needs to start capitalizing on Sanders' potential immediately, and that the time for caution has passed. This is more than just a minor rumor. Sources close to the organization suggest that the Browns' leadership is at a rare crossroads where patience and ambition are colliding in very public ways. For weeks, insiders have been hinting at the fact that Shedeur Sanders, son of NFL legend Deion Sanders, has been training with the team in a highly controlled environment, his snaps carefully monitored, and his exposure to full-contact practice intentionally limited. The official line from the Browns has always been about protecting the rookie from injury, ensuring that he develops within the system, and allowing him to acclimate at his own pace. But according to the latest buzz, Haslam doesn't seem to be buying it anymore. He's ready, Haslam allegedly told close associates, in one of those conversations that later leaked to the rumor mill, and the fans deserve to see him in action. We can't hide talent behind a curtain forever. That phrase alone has sparked a wildfire of speculation, with bloggers, analysts, and armchair quarterbacks alike dissecting what it could mean for the Browns' quarterback depth chart, for the coaching staff's authority, and for the rookie's career trajectory. Some insiders are even suggesting that the pressure Haslam is applying could lead to friction in the locker room, with Stefanski and Berry caught between protecting their rookie investment and satisfying an impatient owner who wants to make headlines and, more importantly, wins. The intrigue doesn't stop there. Shedeur Sanders' journey to Cleveland has been one marked by promise, hype, and the inevitable comparisons to his father, whose Hall of Fame career in the NFL cast a long shadow over any young athlete. From day one, scouts noted Sanders' poise, his field vision, and his uncanny ability to read defenses in ways that belie his age and experience. Yet, despite all the talent and promise, the Browns organization took a conservative approach, choosing to nurture him slowly and shield him from the brutal realities of NFL gameplay. But now, with Haslam reportedly breathing down the necks of Stefanski and Berry, all of that caution could be thrown out the window. Rumor has it that the Browns' offices have been buzzing with emergency meetings, last-minute strategy sessions, and heated debates over whether exposing Sanders to game action now is a stroke of genius or a reckless gamble. Some coaches fear that rushing him could backfire, while others argue that the rookie needs real-time experience to develop the confidence and chemistry with his teammates that no practice scenario can replicate. In other words, the Browns might be on the verge of making a bold, headline-grabbing move that could define this season, or haunt them for years. Meanwhile, the fanbase is practically losing its mind over the possibility. Social media channels are exploding with speculation, clips from past college games are going viral, and hashtags demanding that Shedeur Sanders take the field are trending as if the NFL itself had just announced a major scandal. In bars, offices, and online forums across the country, Browns fans are debating the timing, the wisdom, and the potential impact of Sanders' debut. Some argue that Haslam's pressure could be exactly what the team needs: a spark, a shakeup, a way to electrify an offense that has struggled with consistency in recent seasons. Others warn that letting the owner dictate personnel decisions could undermine Stefanski's authority, creating a power struggle that might be visible on the field. Analysts are weighing in with their own hot takes, comparing the situation to other high-profile rookie quarterbacks who were thrust into action before they were ready. Names like Trevor Lawrence, Justin Herbert, and even Patrick Mahomes come up in the context of immediate success versus long-term development. Each comparison fuels the debate. Is Haslam being visionary or impulsive? Is Sanders ready to carry the weight of expectation? Or is the Browns' hierarchy risking everything for the sake of headlines? Inside the locker room, sources say that conversations are tense but measured. Sanders himself is reportedly keeping a low profile, focused on study sessions, film analysis, and quiet work with position coaches. Yet, the whispers suggest that even he feels the mounting pressure, aware that the moment of truth may be approaching faster than anyone anticipated. Some teammates are said to be cautiously optimistic, excited by the idea of having a playmaker of Sanders' caliber on the field, while others are concerned about how a sudden introduction might affect team dynamics, chemistry, and trust. The coaching staff faces a delicate balancing act. On one hand, they want to honor Haslam's directive, appease the fanbase, and capitalize on the rookie's talent. On the other, they need to maintain control, ensure player safety, and avoid sending the message that decisions are being dictated solely by ownership whims. According to insiders, these tensions have led to several late-night strategy sessions where Stefanski and Berry attempt to chart a path forward, negotiating internally about timing, game plan integration, and how to introduce Sanders to the league without exposing him to unnecessary risk. Meanwhile, NFL pundits are having a field day. Podcasts, YouTube channels, and sports networks are dissecting every detail, every nuance, and every historical precedent. The conversation has expanded beyond Cleveland, with commentators speculating on how this move might influence the broader quarterback market, draft strategies, and even team cultures around the league. Some suggest that if the Browns succeed in integrating Sanders quickly and effectively, other franchises might follow suit, rethinking the rookie protection model and opting for more aggressive deployment of talented young quarterbacks. Conversely, if the Browns stumble, the fallout could be severe. Criticism from the media, backlash from fans, and a cautionary tale about rushing talent could dominate headlines for months. Every step, every snap, every play involving Sanders is now under scrutiny in a way that few rookies ever experience. And it's all compounded by the fact that the pressure isn't coming just from analysts or fans. It's coming from the top, from Jimmy Haslam himself, the man whose influence has the power to reshape the Browns' organizational culture in real time. Even the rumor mills can't agree on the exact timing of Sanders' potential debut, which only adds fuel to the fire. Some sources suggest he could see limited action in the preseason, gradually increasing his presence as the season progresses. Others whisper that Haslam has already instructed the staff to prepare for a high-profile debut in a key early-season matchup, a move designed not just to showcase Sanders' talent, but also to send a message to the league. The Browns are serious, ambitious, and willing to shake things up. There's even speculation that this pressure campaign is part of a broader strategy to redefine Cleveland's identity, signaling to free agents, fans, and rivals that the franchise is no longer content with incremental growth. Every angle, every source, and every conversation seems to circle back to the same idea. The Browns are at a pivotal moment, one that could change not just the trajectory of a rookie quarterback's career, but the very culture of the team itself. As the days tick by, the tension only grows. Every training session is scrutinized, every comment analyzed, and every rumor amplified. Shedeur Sanders stands at the center of it all, a young quarterback whose talent is undeniable, whose pedigree is legendary, and whose timing in the NFL could be either a masterstroke or a cautionary tale. Meanwhile, Jimmy Haslam's impatience serves as a constant reminder that in professional football, opportunity and pressure are never far apart. Kevin Stefanski and Andrew Berry, the men tasked with navigating this storm, are walking a tightrope, balancing the demands of ownership, the expectations of fans, and the developmental needs of their prized rookie. The chatter won't stop, the speculation will intensify, and one thing is certain. The protective bubble around Shedeur Sanders is no longer impenetrable. The NFL world is watching, waiting, and wondering what happens next, and the Browns may just be about to make one of the boldest, most talked-about moves of the season. Thanks for riding with us on another Browns Blitz. If you liked the video, share it with a fellow fan, hit subscribe, and ring that bell so you're always part of the Dawg Pound conversation. Go Browns!